Barrett. Hey, welcome back to Community for All of Us, and we're here in Greenville, South Carolina at the Greenville Pop Expo, and we're here for 2 days. Today is Saturday, November 12th. 13th, and tomorrow is Sunday, November 14th, and today it goes from 10 p.m. to about 4 p.m. So we're here. Derek's going to do some sketches. We're going to hopefully get out the button makers so people can come make buttons if they want to, and we will just see the convention. We're hoping that we're going to have a great turnout, so there's lots of stuff to see.
All right, thank you, baby girl. And I'll be on my way. And there's Nick. Chilling. So one thing I definitely want to show you is what we got right here.
Yeah,
3D
give it a try.
These things look awesome. And beyond the Outlook, I will be doing a interview with you guys. If you love Pokemon, you will definitely love these things. Oh man. Very, very cool. Absolutely awesome. Squirrel. I'm not sure. Really cool stuff. And so on. And collectors, monsters, villains. Some of them lightsabers. This one blue. Okay.
Road training, people are going to have to find out about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a single license on it. Just every bullet.
Making jewelry.
Things here.
All the smart belts. Very nice. Wednesday. Robert, Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Who, Beetlejuice.
What we usually do is
Like cups. And some of this stuff, like you can see here.
So I'll have Emily drive her car down on Sunday.
At Pop Expo. Check it out. Very cool. Got some artwork. Got some pins. As you can see, cool stickers. Ooh, I would have bought Decepticons. That might have to come home with me. See if he has a He-Man. Gosh, that would be cool. Cable. Spawn. You know the channel? How much of this one? Skeleton. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, here at Pop Expo, this is where you can pretty much find anything in your geekdom. Where you would just be awesome, entertained, grateful. Got comic books also. Very cool. Maybe take a look at those a little bit later. Big old poster boards, which is cool. Cards. And you can't forget your pops. Here is your pops. Soul. And Cinta too. Oh, look at the child.
How you doing today, sir?
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good.
I am walking around and checking out things. Where could they find you? Where could they find you online or your store?
We actually have where we got a Facebook group is Froggy Toyland, and the website is froggytoyland.com.
FroggyToyland.com.
Based out of Lawrence, South Carolina.
Nice.
And if you want to take a screenshot of even the card too.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
No, some of them fell off, but that's got all the info on it there. And
I'm gonna take one if that's okay. This is where y'all can come check him out. I'll be walking around, but like I said, he's got Grimlock, which I'm going to be eyeballing. Got Grimlock, and my wife loves My Little Pony, and that one's scented. So I may be coming back for that one right there. Thank you so much, sir.
no problem. Thank you.
I'll put this up and make a link for it. Oh, man. Very nice. Oh my gosh, 8-bit. There's that. Oh, One Punch Man. Squirtle. Oh, Sailor Moon. Dragon Ball Z. I'm doing some filming for also Richard. Would you like to share where they can find your stuff?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, 8-Bit Perler Art.
Okay.
And,
Thank you.
card.
Here's his card. I'll have links down below so y'all can check out the stuff.
Appreciate it.
Thank you much. This will be on YouTube and podcast.
Awesome.
Community for all of us.
Awesome, thank you.
Cool. So yes, very, very cool. We even have food. They didn't leave out the food. That's what I was like, what? We got food? So right now, I'm walking around. Let y'all see the show. This guy here is a publisher, just like Autocrat Primer and us. You know, Bitter Tea Media. We're also publishers. But look, us being smart and giving these cards to the beautiful brains behind the outfit so that we can put those links down below.
Oh, I like his,
Yeah, me too. I might want to get, he's got a book that I might want to get. It's called Demon Hunter. It looks really good. Oh, if you got $10, I want to get you something.
okay.
I just need $10.
I don't have it written.
Huh?
It's in your belt bag. Is your belt bag over here?
Yeah, it's with y'all. She doesn't know what it's going to be. Give me 15 total just to make sure I read the right song. Yep, there it is. Like I said, they've got everything. You got cosplayers over here. It's just absolutely amazing. And y'all know what I'm gonna get, right? You know what I'm gonna get. You're gonna be surprised. How excited y'all think? Let's take a chance. How excited do you think the wife is gonna be for this thing right here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have to come back and get this for the wife. I have to come back and get this My Little Pony for my wife.
I think that's a sentence one too.
It is. That's why I was like, definitely got to walk out. Is it the 10 or is it the 15? Is it 10? Awesome. Oh, he's gonna put it in a bag, everything. It's gonna be a big surprise. Thank you so much, sir.
I'll give you one of our flyers
Yes.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, sir. More signs. Wonder Woman. Oh, I love the Pokemon Death Star. Look at that. Pokemon Ball Death Star. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And yes, if you can smell it, you can smell some good cooking. Good cooking. So, yeah. So let's see how excited she's going to be when she sees this. I even got it put in a black bag so she doesn't know. See, black bag.
I see. Does that mean I get to open it now?
You get to open it now. See how excited she's going to be.
Oh, she's so cute.
And it's scented. Look at her, I told y'all.
Oh my goodness.
How's it smell?
It smells like cotton candy, which is what her name is.
Oh, she does smell like cotton candy.
That's a
There you
cool
go, baby
gimmick.
girl.
I like that a lot.
That was for you.
It smells so good, thank you.
You're welcome, baby. We're going to walk around a little bit and see what else we got. Oh, we got some very cool books. Definitely want to know how much this was going to be. Find this volume.
I'm now starting to write more.
That was
You got these
cool.
chihuahuas you need killing.
That's the whole thing?
Yeah, it's.
So if you got any chihuahuas that you need,
Yeah.
coming, that'll do it.
Awesome. No, I got my. I did see your book here, that right there, because I got the little kitty back there.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, it's got 2 different covers.
Those are good for people who are starting out.
Very cool. How much is the book?
Get to see people.
How much is it?
The unlimited edition is 80.
It's what now?
80.
80. Okay.
And then that is the limited edition. It's limited to 250 copies ever, and it's 125.
Gotcha. I'll probably be coming back
And
around.
those collect the first 3 of the Quincy Harker books.
Yeah, that's what I saw, and I was like,
And really, if you were buying these 3 individually, it would be 90.
right.
So the collection is a little bit of a savings over buying them individually. The limited edition is not a savings over a goddamn thing.
Got it. Well,
Because it's
tell us a
limited
little bit
edition.
about yourself. This is
So I'm John Hartness. I'm the founder and publisher of Falstaff Books. I write multiple series, the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series, the Bubba the Monster Hunter series, as well as the Black Knight Chronicles. And I'm a cast member of the live play D&D podcast Authors and Dragons,
Oh.
which is where our Chronicles of Calamity comic book
Very
came
nice.
from. I've been trying to figure out where I should assign this when someone buys it, because I didn't write it, I didn't draw it, I didn't letter it,
Wait.
I'm just in it.
see.
Because I created one of the characters, and these are the adventures that our D&D group goes on.
Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, wait a second. What's her name? Let me ask my wife. She's better at this. Nikki. Who was it that signed your book that was the kitties? Or she signed it on every page. Rusia or Dawson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not signing it on everything.
No, but you could sign it on the side that has your first picture.
I've usually just been signing it over because my character is Fandango, the Fantastical,
Oh yeah,
the Bard.
you just sign it right there.
So I've been signing it over his codpiece
There you go. Absolutely.
because he's a bard. So
Very
that's what
nice.
he's doing most of his thinking with.
Very nice. I'll be coming back around.
I'll be here.
Appreciate it.
All right, you want to get that?
So there we have some of that. We got some comics over here. Hey, Rick. Very cool. Comic book issues. You know, I'll be having to go through to see if I see any spawns. Got some Sailor Moon stuff. Oh, look. Naruto. Death Note. Very nice. Oh, here it is, Dragon Ball Z, the bane of my wife's existence. They also got some cool masks up there. Oh, Among Us. Very cool. Very cool. And Star Wars. Very nice. And as we're going through and looking around, high indie books in this book. Very nice. Nice stuff.
How you doing?
How y'all doing?
You groovy?
I am.
Fun.
What you eyeballing over here?
I was looking at he had a second ago. Also, but he had a Detective 400 up here.
Oh.
The first appearance of Man Bat.
Mm-hmm.
I just forgot where it was. I was going to look at it again because Richard and I were talking about it. It may be my present for working this weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I mean, I'd still,
But you still, yeah.
I'd still pay for it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm the same way. I'm like, whatever I find here, I'll be extremely excited. I found something for Nikki. I found her a My Little Pony that smelled like cotton candy.
I told her, I'm gonna tell you, I quite enjoy the videos and the pictures of the toys when you guys open them.
Oh,
Because it makes me want to go buy Transformers now again, which is a problem because I don't. Aubrey pulled me back into Pokemon. You know, I never left this.
Yep.
And then I'm getting like certain, like now Marvel Legends has pulled me back in with like Age of Apocalypse and some of those sets. So now I'm like, and then I saw, I don't think it was somebody who showed me, like it was a random link to something, but it's all a bunch of the that are coming out that it's I think they're like from the Bumblebee movie. It sounds a little stupid.
Yep.
But
no, it's going to be the studio series. You're going to get Ratchet. You're going to get oh gosh.
Wasn't there Soundwave in that?
Yep.
I saw those and I was like, those look awesome. And then I'm like, I don't know how much those are going to be.
Between 20 and 30.
Okay, don't tell me that because then I can afford something.
I know. I've already got
the
them
problem.
pre-ordered, so yeah.
The only thing that hurt my heart, and I didn't know that it was going to be it's supposed to be like a San Diego online order, like Comic-Con thing, is I wanted the Skull Glow for the new Master of the Universe cartoon.
Yes.
And I said, that's awesome, but now I'm not paying $200 for a $30 toy.
No.
I can't afford it.
Well, I surprised Nikki because they Hasbro had their own little con, but it was online, and I actually got her Zartan that turns blue. And her birthday's next week, but she's already found it, and I was like, that's your birthday present. She's like, oh my God!
She's like, I just wanted something that I love, thank you.
Yep. So, well, you're going to hate it then. You're going to see me going into the He-Man figures, the newer ones. I got a great deal on the whole first wave, and I was like, those figures are magnificent.
I love the new cartoon for the Man, or the Moss Man.
Yeah.
With like the man thing, like tentacles. And
Yes.
everything. Oh my God.
He has parts that come off, and actually he has those tentacles that you add to him. So you can have him where he's standing, he's got the tentacles will reach out, you can have it where it's wrapped around somebody. They're a little stiff, but you can have it where it's like they go around their shoulder or something like this. But yeah, you can get him in pose. He stands up absolutely perfect because they gave him wood feet, they look at feet, but it looks like tree roots. So he's not losing anything. So when he stands, he can get him in any pose, and he stands perfect. Yeah.
See, you don't see that's the problem. Like I walked through Target the other day and they had all four hanging on the shelf, and I was like, and I saw the Battle Cat series.
I got the Battle Cat the other day. That's why we named the new cat Cringer. We were like, hey, it's a He-Man day, so we got a new kitty. We're going to name it Cringer. Got the Battle Cat the same day. And the Battle Cat is balanced. They're all balanced perfect. I mean, literally, you get them in the pose, and I don't know how Mattel did it, because Hasbro's always had issues with the Legends being able to stand up and be too top heavy. I don't know what Mattel's done and how they balanced it, but you can have He-Man holding his sword up, and it looks like he's standing in Power Grayskull.
Are they gonna make a stinker this time around?
Yes. And Mattel's also going to be pushing. The line is going to be considered Masters of the Universe, and they're going to cover everything Matty Collector. Yeah. But with updates. And the Four Horsemen, they have come. They're actually the one that has designed the ones that we're seeing coming out. They designed there was 4 designers, and the one that Mattel said did the best sales, and they did the Moss Man. Because I got their Moss Man from the Matty Collector. And I was like, I didn't think there was going to be another figure. And even though if it was flocked, I think it would have been better than one from the Matty Collector. If it was flocked. That's the only thing it was missing. It's beautiful. But I'll have those reviews up next week. And then you get to eyeball those and let me know what you think.
Oh, I will.
As we are walking, see, you get to even talk to people while you're here. Everyone, anyone, which is awesome. Where you get to run into old friends, make new friends, hang out with old friends. Now you got Pokemon Fusion Strike. Looks very cool. You got 501st. Oh, this is awesome. Got Ren, beautiful. Very nice. As I said, you will be surprised at who you see, what you see, and where you see it. Very, very cool. Beautiful artwork going on. A lot of great. So, yeah. Very cool. 3D print stuff. Oh my gosh. Game Boys. Oh, look at this. Game Boys ants.
Beginning of February.
Very cool.
So if you don't want all the shine,
Got some cards. Very cool. Look at all this stuff. Absolutely cool. So this gives you the show. We got more guys out here. As you come in, there's different artists, different people that are here. Very cool.
Yeah, I just took from it to like a mind I'm gonna use it for reference. I can't
Like sharks?
I love sharks.
Sharkivores, Jaws meets RoboCop. Jaws if the shark were the hero, RoboCop if the cop were a shark. He's an escaped U.S. military experiment on the loose in the Gulf of Mexico, enforcing the law as he sees fit. First 3 issues are out now. I write and draw it all myself. I'm a career artist.
Oh, very nice. Where can they find your stuff?
Well, you right here, but online I have a website.
You do?
Know, that you can.
Thank you. And I will put this down in the description down below. I'm doing some video stuff for Richard, and I do a podcast. So.
Oh, cool.
So,
You
yeah.
need an interview. I'm
Yes.
always willing to be interviewed.
Oh, awesome. I definitely will set that up. You gonna be here also tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow.
All right. I got a table here. I'm an artist also, but yeah, I'll come by because that's what I told Richard. I was kind of want to get interviews with all you guys.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll have it edited and put up next week. Some I'm going to have directly go to Facebook and stuff today.
Oh, if you tag me in Facebook, I'll make sure I share it too.
Absolutely, I'll do that. Cool. I like it. I do like sharks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love your artwork.
I appreciate it.
Sharks look awesome. I love the torpedo things on the side. That's awesome. Very cool. I'll definitely have to come back by. Awesome. Thank you. And as you can see, you meet other artists, you meet other people. It's really cool, so you can see. Got even chandeliers. 501st is walking. And so that gives you a feel of being here at the show. So I'll be doing interviews a little later. I'll let Nikki end us.
End us with, hi.
Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to Community for All of Us. Today, take a look in front of you. You get to see the back side, but you're going to get to see the front side too of these wonderful 3D printers. And I got the guys here. So hey, how are y'all two doing?
We're doing great today. My name's Josh Morgan. I'm the president of 3D Print Palace. I am here with my partner, Stephen Floyd. We do a lot of 3D printing, modeling, and actually doing the printing. And Stephen, you want to talk a little bit about how we got started?
Yeah, so we first got started in 3D printing about 4 years ago. It was a bit of a slow process. You start out with just one printer at first,
Right.
And then you build up to, we now at 6 printers, I think.
Yep, six
Oh,
in
six
total.
print. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So we have printers from a couple of different sort of varieties. We do FDM standard printers that
Right.
do PLA plastic.
Okay.
We also cover resin printing as well. So we do have one resin printer.
You have one resin
Yep.
printer. Very nice. I see that you have one of your figures here.
Yep.
If you want to bring it up a little bit.
bring it up in the camera.
This has been awesome. I had to get one for my wife, and I had to get one for my sister. Those are beautiful.
Thank you.
So, I mean, looking at them, I know you got some that's also painted, but how long does it take you to do one like this?
One about this size. I'd say this takes us about 22 hours, 23 hours, something around there.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit higher than that. It really depends on something of this size on how much you have protruding angles.
Okay.
Because you have to build a support to hold that up.
Right.
So if you had these ears poking out a little bit farther, it would take you even longer to print it to support that ear.
Support that ear.
Yep.
So they're very sturdy. What type of material are you using for your?
It's a PLA plus. It's basically an industrial plastic.
Yeah.
The way that it actually prints is it takes that plastic and it heats it up to about 205, 210 degrees Celsius, and then it lays down the first layer, and you can imagine just layer by layer it lays down that plastic and brings it up and actually builds your model.
Very cool. Now, when I was talking to y'all, you said that y'all come up with your own, for the sizes and everything yourselves, right?
Yep, that is correct. We can make this model, once we've actually gotten the model ready, we can bring it down to being an inch tall if we wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I see that there's a lot of this Pokemon that has, which is like the best thing ever. But the other thing too is that I was just wondering if you ever looked to go into, like, for me, I know a lot of Transformer guys, and they love 3D printing stuff. Have y'all ever thought about going that route where you actually can do 3D printing that they can actually purchase and add to someone's character?
So we've thought about stuff like that. We have the ability to create models like that, but we've never been asked to. It's always create, a model of Princess Peach, a model of Mario, a model of this Pokemon, and it's things like that. A lot of our things that we build and create is driven by someone just saying, hey, this is something that I want. Can you guys make this?
Yeah, very much driven by the demand going on at the time. So that's why we have recently printed like Dialgas, because we have the new Pokemon game coming out.
Yep. So that's something that we've never looked into, trying to build something that would go on to like Transformers or onto certain characters, but you'd definitely be into trying it.
Yeah. The other thing too is that I have, I'm actually publishing books and the publisher too. I have a character that I'm thinking about. Could you, if I gave you an artwork of a character, could you do a 3D printing of the character from that artwork?
We've made a few, so like D&D characters.
Okay.
We've done generic D&D characters of like an elf archer or, like an orc warrior of some kind. I don't see why we couldn't just, create, like if my character had, heavy armor, we could create, heavy armor on that model.
Yeah.
The hard part is this kind of printing isn't the greatest for creating D&D characters. That kind of printing is resin printing, which Stephen, if you could hand me the resin model.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. It's beautiful.
This is a specific kind of printer that we use that uses a different kind of material. It actually uses resin.
Okay.
And then we build it with that. It builds it, from the bottom up. And this is a lot better at getting specific details of models. So this is the kind of printing that we would go for whenever we make, a D&D character or something that needs a lot of detail.
Okay, very cool. It's beautiful. It's very gorgeous. So with this one here, I'm just curious, how long would something like this take you to do?
So resin printing is a bit different than the FDM because it has to travel that print head and melt out that plastic.
Okay.
Resin printing works completely layer by layer, and it uses a UV light that cures that each layer. So it puts a cured layer of resin on top of each other going up.
So you can actually imagine when this is printing, so this is the bed, it's upside down and inside of resin. So you have this here, it flashes a UV light, it creates this first layer here, and then it brings it up higher. And then it'll flash another UV light until it builds it all the way down and pulls it out of the resin.
Wow.
But it's down to each layer runs at about 0.001 millimeters.
Yeah.
Roughly what it's showing. Yeah, it's very
tedious.
Yeah.
Very.
But because of it no longer doing that travel time, this model can take maybe 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes a lot quicker, but the issue with resin printing, with our normal PLA, you just pop it off the print bed and you are finished. This, you have to take it out, give it a wash in alcohol, give it a water wash, another alcohol wash, and then allow it to cure to make sure that it gives it a good transparency. If you don't do that, you'll get a lot of cloudy surfaces on it.
Okay. Very interesting. I appreciate y'all explaining both of them. Now, with your company, you said something y'all started.
Yep.
And you met in college, correct?
Yep, that is correct.
So why did you decide to go 3D printing?
Steve and I learned it all from you, so I guess you're the start.
So my brother was the one who first kind of got me into 3D printing,
Right.
Sort of taught me the ropes. I'd been interested in 3D printing for at least, ever since it's come out, really. But I just never had time to try it until I got out of college. So when I got out of college, I had my own place. Then I was able to buy my own 3D printer. I started playing around with it and started making cool stuff. And then Josh was just, he thought, that's really neat.
I had never seen a 3D printer before. He showed it to me and I was like, wow, this is really cool. So I eventually saved up some money, bought my own 3D printer. Learned the first year of 3D printing is really rough, but Steven helped walk me through it. And then after, it had been, 3 years was when we started, really feeling like we were confident in 3D printing and wanted to actually try to start making a business.
Yeah. We went into 3D printing not with the intention of making a business, but after a while we figured we've gotten really good at this.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
Right.
Plus we enjoy going to Comic-Cons and these types of events. So it's a win-win all round.
Exactly. And so you said that it's pretty much like customer base, what the fans come and ask you.
Yep.
So with that and going to the different shows, do you have to change what your lineup is? Or?
A little bit. A lot of times if it's 2-day events, we'll save some items for the second day.
Okay.
We'll switch out items. Our items, since they take so long to print, we a lot of times are rotating out of stock. So, we have this awesome, blue filament that we had for that Glaceon.
Right.
We use that to make a bunch of Glaceons, and then once those get sold, we may print more of them, or we may just wait and print something else, like the Jolteons, or something that's not Pokemon related.
Very nice. I gotta say, guys, what you have is awesome, absolutely awesome. I am very blown away by this. I do like 3D printing. With this, and it being the way it is, has the cost of it been big to start up, or did y'all start like small and be like?
Because we started about 4 years ago with our just own casual 3D printing, we had basically already built up a lot of our supplies. By the time we started our business, I had 2 printers, you had 2 printers, so together we had 4 3D printers, and it's really, the investment wasn't huge. It was about a $3,000 investment, something like that.
Yeah, to get all the materials, get the printers.
But it really just depends on, how much we end up selling for, and how much...
Your prices are awesome.
Yeah, how much trouble you run into with 3D printing, because a lot of times, if you have something that has a 2-day print, and then you run into a jam, a day and a half into it, everything you've created is gone. Your material is gone. You can't save that print.
Yeah,
so that's where a lot of people, when they first pick up 3D printing, run into that issue of, trying to make something big. You spend 30 plus hours on it, and then it fails, and they get super frustrated.
Oh, that's so. So with this, and it's now a business for y'all, and it look some awesome stuff. I've seen some 3D printing, and y'all's by far.
Thank you.
To be honest, y'all's is the first 3D printing I've ever purchased.
Really?
Yes, I have looked and been to different shows in different places, but y'all's 3D printing and the detail that I saw in it, I was like, I have to. And if I have a good day tomorrow, I will be buying some more because it's absolutely awesome. With that, share where they can find you.
So we had started a website, but since we come to so many events, we sell a good bit of stuff, so it's hard to keep it stocked. The easiest place to get a hold of us and see a lot of our stuff is on our Instagram page at 3D Print Palace, as well as our Facebook page.
Okay.
We do a lot of custom requests, we make a lot of custom models, and yeah, we just love to see whenever someone buys our stuff and then posts it on, their shelf or, things like
It'll
that.
be a
where
art
it's
room.
in that.
It will be a art room, very much so. One last question is this. This is an art style. So you got your own flair that you do with this.
Yep.
Do you find it easier to independently create your setup, or is it something that you look at a template or?
It's easiest to go off of references, in my opinion. If you trying to build anything in CAD or off of memory, it is very difficult. There's a lot of times, pulling another model in, you can reconstruct that model that you found, especially if they allow like remixes and things like that.
Right.
But if you're ever going to build something in CAD, you always, in my opinion, want to have a reference to go on.
Well, with that, guys, that is awesome. Thank y'all so much for this. This will be up on the Community for All of Us and also the podcast.
Awesome.
And I'll be able to give you all that information. All right, guys, please just check them out. 3D Printing Palace. And trust me, it is a beautiful palace indeed. Hey guys, welcome back to a Community for All of Us. Today I am here with two authors who I just purchased their book, so you can be on the lookout for a review. I am here with Jacob and also HP Hollow, right?
Yes,
Hollow.
hollow.
Hollow. There we go.
Like hologram.
Holographic. So, first of all, you had me sold when I saw this one right here. Show y'all this one right here. Y'all know me, giant robots and sharks, but this has got giant robots. So.
But no sharks.
But no sharks. That's all right. I got sharks down there. So this is my other genre. So I also do a little toy reviews. So I like Transformers. So, Jacob, how did you come up with your books? I see you have 3 out.
So for that particular series, it's kind of like various different properties had this party in my brain.
Yeah.
And this came out, so it's kind of a mix of Gundam Wing, Evangelion, an old Squaresoft game called Xenogears. Maybe a dash of Dragon Ball Z in there as well. All mixed together, and it kind of had a party in my brain, and then the Seraphim Revival popped out.
Nice.
In trilogy form.
Trilogy form. I like it. I'm very interested, and I see the Seraphim. And you're also an author, so
yes, I am.
Tell me one of your books that you have.
Well, I write primarily fantasy, and my newest series is called, the whole mess going here, Monster Punk Horizon. It's game-lit fantasy comedy, and it's essentially about 2 girls who are monster hunters as they get up to stupid misadventures whilst hunting monsters and just going about daily life in their setting.
So here's her book right here. I like the cover art on both of them.
Oh yeah, our cover artist was spectacular on this, and book 2 is actually out, it actually officially releases next week. But I love the cover of this one.
Oh yeah, I love it too. That's beautiful.
They keep getting better and better. Our artist, Jackson Chota, I found him online just doing other covers in this genre.
Right.
And the moment I saw those covers, I was like, I need to hire this artist. And so I did research to try to figure out who it was, and emailed him, and he was like, yeah, I'll do your covers. And he did spectacular work.
That is awesome.
I love him.
It's always been good to find someone, that you can find and that matches your style. Now, as authors, do y'all write together?
We do, actually.
So, if I could just step in. So, we write together, and we also edit each other's work.
Okay.
So, as I was editing Monster Punk Horizon, book 1 in her new series, I'm like, Heather, can I write a book in this series?
Oh, nice.
So, before you had finished fully editing book 1, I had come out with a rough draft for what ended up being book 3, which she then went back to and expanded upon.
Nice.
So that one, book 3, which comes out
December 23rd.
Okay.
We collaborated on that one.
Very nice. Well, I think that's awesome because my wife and I do collab on stuff also. You want to just expand upon how?
Oh yeah, we've also collaborated on my debut novel, which is The Wizard's Way, which is steampunk fantasy. And for every collaboration we do, the process works a little bit different. So I took the lead on this world, and Jacob, while he didn't do much of the writing of it, he really contributed a lot to the structure of it, so in helping with the plotting and whatnot. And initially it was just a novel that I was writing by myself,
right?
But in the course of writing, he had such tremendous impact on the order in which the story was told that his name ended up going on it, because it was that impactful.
That is awesome.
And it seems like, and we've got some other books that we're writing together too. You've got, with those books, he's actually writing the outlines for them, and then I'm doing the rough drafts for them. And so it's the types of...
Right, so, I'm kind of, laying out a skeleton, and then she comes in, she adds the meat to the skeleton.
Very nice.
Hands it over to me, and then I'm kind of keeping a overarching view on the series and, the tech and, the rule set for the fantasy world and whatnot, and kind of cleaning it up.
And helping with the pacing and everything with it. Awesome.
And so we collaborate a little bit differently on every project, just varying according to what each project needs.
So very organic how y'all can work together. I find that amazing in couples that can do that, because there's not very many. But my wife and I have worked together for 20 years. We've been married for 20 years. So thank you. So we kind of collab on a lot of things that I worked on, and she kind of gave her influence. Do you find it difficult to sometimes, because there are that moments, like I was doing an artwork one time, and my wife Nikki came up, she just erased the whole thing and said that was awful. And for me, I was like, you just erased the whole thing I've been working on. But have y'all ever come to the point where, it's kind of hard to tell one or the other that I don't like the story?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Because our writing styles are so very different that we butt heads frequently on minor details. And just to give you an example, Jacob, whenever he writes stories, he says that he designs them more so than writes them.
I kind of half jokingly and half seriously say that I don't actually write novels. I design them and then I construct them. So there's a lot of pre-planning before I even start working on chapter 1 that goes into the writing process for me.
Okay.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I am more of Monster Punk
You're
Horizon.
more about discovering the story as you go.
Monster Punk Horizon is the first series I've actually outlined. And the other stuff I've written has just been like, let's start the story and see where it goes. And so I'll have the world in my head, but not necessarily the plot. And so when we're working on the sequel to The Wizard's Way right now, and there have been points where I've been like, Jacob, I really want this cool detail in the world. But Jacob has been like, it contributes nothing to the plot. It doesn't earn its page space. And so just little back and forths like that. And so
cool.
it's just little conflicts in our writing style, but we smooth it out and make it work. And it ends up being better than anything the two of us could have produced on our own. So it works out.
That's very cool. I enjoy to hear that, because with that, communication is always key. With this, you have several different stories that are out. I see you have some other books that's over there too. Is there any one of these that's your favorite?
That's like asking someone to pick your favorite child.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I would say, you go first. I'm still thinking. I mean, I don't have many to choose from because we got 2 series. But it's a tough question because each book represents a different stage of your writing ability, and it's like I have really close attachment to The Wizard's Way because it was my first book. I think the writing is spectacular, just my own humble opinion. But I also really enjoy Monster Punk Horizon because it represents a different stage in my writing style. I learned a lot of really useful stuff while writing The Wizard's Way, and was able to take all the mistakes I made, fix them, and then use what I learned to make something stronger. And it's a very different book, but I can definitely see my own growth. And so from that perspective, Monster Punk Horizon is kind of my favorite book. But if I were to tell someone to read like any one book of mine, actually, I don't even know what I'd pick. If you like steampunk, read The Wizard's Way. If you like really crazy, stupid comedy, read Monster Punk Horizon. There we go.
Very good.
Go for it.
So, My favorite hasn't actually been published yet.
Okay.
So the Gordian Division series, which is a time travel multiverse
Love that cover.
spanning series.
My
It's
cat is in
hypnotic.
there. Yeah, my cat is in the room in there. We'll be like, oh my god.
It's a series that David Weber and I collaborated on. The Gordian Protocols, the first traditionally published book that I was involved in, and I'm super happy that David, invited me. At one point he said, hey, let's write this time travel series together. And little did he know that I'd once sworn to myself that I would never, ever, under any circumstances, write time travel. So of course I said, I think that's a great idea, David. Let's do that. The third book in the series,
Right.
Which I think it's on the schedule to come out next year in October. Not
Things
entire-
change in publishing.
Right.
Oh, yes.
We're aiming.
That is actually my favorite book right now.
Okay.
In terms of what I've contributed to.
Right.
There's a lot of, while it's certainly a collaboration, there's a lot of me in that third book.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Very nice. The reason why I also ask is that with you doing the series, this is something as an artist and a comic artist that I came up to, is I just recently ended my long-running graphic novel series that was based loosely on my wife and I. Do y'all ever see an end coming to your characters?
Two specific ones, yes. The Wizard's Way series is going to be, like, the mainline story is going to be 4 books.
Okay.
I do have other side stories planned, but definitely there. Monster Punk Horizon, however, was written to be a universe that I can continually expand on, because the stories are a lot simpler in that way. And Monster Punk as a series also... It kind of takes inspiration from whatever I'm enjoying at the time in terms of whatever anime I'm watching or video games I'm playing, and it parodies a lot of those things.
Okay.
And so I structured the Monster Punk Horizon series so that it could go infinitely if I wanted it to.
Okay.
And so it's kind of structured like Terry Pratchett's Discworld series in
Gotcha.
that it's a huge series, but each novel is kind of a standalone, and you can start at different points.
Yes.
And so with that one, I want it to run until people stop reading it. But with other stories, like especially more epic stories, I think authors who write epic stories have to start with an endpoint in mind, or it just becomes sprawling and uncontrollable.
I can agree with that. I've seen that happen.
Oh yeah.
So the Gordian Division series, at its outset, was designed to be open-ended, and each of the books, while they do build on themselves and they have kind of this future history that's being built up, are standalone stories in terms of their core, the core arc in
Right.
each one of them. So that one's open-ended, and is open-ended by design. The giant robots, the Seraphim Revival. Book 3, that's, the end of that major story arc. Could there be another one? There is. I mean, the end of the third book, while it brings to close a lot of things, leaves some threads open, say, hey, there could be more stories to be told in this setting. But yeah, that was it's like, yep, this is the ending. We're cutting off here. And so it depends on the kind of stories that I want to tell. I guess is it depends.
I get you.
It's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it wasn't by plan or design. I come to this point where I was like, I do a comic strip, and I got to the end of it. And so the other question I want to ask, because this is something I had to deal with myself, I also was an art director and stuff with commercials and movies. Do you sometimes feel that if you get bogged down by doing the, I guess, running the gauntlet, do you think that you'll ever get tired of it?
I think it's very possible to get tired of it, but I have different reasons for that. I have OCD, so it's easy
I do
for me
too.
to get. Oh yeah,
I
you
understand.
know the struggle.
As soon as you were
So,
saying like this is how I do the
it's-
stories, I was like, oh god, we both have
Oh, yeah.
OCD. This is how we do it.
It's easy to get overwhelmed in the details.
Yes.
And I pretty frequently have to take a step back and look at what I'm doing and be like, okay, so what is actually essential to running your writing business?
Gotcha.
And what is actually essential to telling your story? And you need to focus on that, because if you don't focus on that and get meaningful work done, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yes.
And there are days where I can feel it building up, and I'm like, okay, self, my brain is all tangled up. I need to go do something to untangle it, whether that something is a little meditation or whether it is playing video games for a few hours. Just got to do it. And it's just a matter of being in touch with your own brain and knowing what your own brain needs, because burnout is a real challenge for a lot of career authors.
Yes. You get to that writer's block and you're trying to figure out what the next level's going to be.
Oh yeah, and especially for a lot of the indie writers who are making the big bucks these days are production writers, like churning things out and releasing things month after month after month. And it's the kind of thing where if you mess up on your schedule, like things begin to pile up. And so you've really got to know yourself and how well you work before you can really do that effectively.
Right, exactly. How about you? Do you see that anything would be?
I mean, I think, with any sort of profession, but overwork and burnout is a potential risk, and you need to guard against it in some manner. I think that one of the ways that we as authors can approach this is that to occasionally shift our focus to a different series, for example.
Okay.
It's like, okay, I'm writing these really intense, epic, time travel things, and there's all these moving parts and all these characters and a lot of complexity, which is enjoyable.
Right.
There's a certain intensity to the writing process as well. Let's take a break and write about,
That's exactly how Monster Punk Horizon happened. I was working on The Wizard Circus, the title of the sequel to The Wizard's Way, and The Wizard Circus is I won't call it a dark book, but it's a heavy, complicated book. And I got to a point in writing it where my brain just got all tangled up in it, and it was like, you know what? I don't need to write about traumatized wizards. I need to write about something fun and dumb. And I didn't know what I was going to write at that point, but what emerged was the Monster Punk Horizon series.
Very nice. Now, with these, you see a lot of your love from your hobbies and things you like growing up. What was your biggest influence on each one of you that made you say, this genre right here is where I have passion to start with?
I know I don't know, it may not even be weird for my generation, but the Toonami programming block on Cartoon Network.
Yes.
Because I really began to come into my own as a writer when I was in junior high, and when Gundam Wing and Tenchi Muyo and all those things were beginning to, and all those shows were becoming popular, and anime was beginning to experience its next major wave at that time. And a lot of my stories combined elements from all the anime I was watching at the time, and I really loved the sort of whimsical, completely unbridled nature of it.
Right.
And by that point, I was absolutely certain, I want to write in sci-fi and fantasy, and not just sci-fi and fantasy, but completely bonkers sci-fi and fantasy. and so it was pretty obvious to me early on how I wanted to write.
There are, I'd say, 3 key influences that kind of made me want to be a storyteller. Frank Herbert's Dune.
Oh, yes.
Big fan. Love the books.
Some of David Weber's works, which
makes
crazy
the co-authorship
because
wild.
I know.
Yeah,
I
I am now collaborating with one of the authors who inspired my writing. And
sometimes we just have to touch this book to make sure it's real, because it doesn't feel real that he wrote a book with one of his favorite writers. Continue.
And Terry Pratchett's Discworld.
Discworld, yeah.
Those 3, and they mix up here in weird ways.
Right.
One of the things that Well, I certainly, enjoy the complexity of the world building, in Dune, in David Weber's works. I also like inserting bits of humor.
Good.
And I think that's where the Terry Pratchett influence comes in.
Right.
Where,
I'll add that Terry Pratchett had a pretty huge influence on me too. I didn't realize it at the time because at the time I was reading his books and enjoying them, and over time I began to appreciate how complex they would be and how serious they could be while also being just downright hilarious.
Right.
All right, I want to kind of just tell a quick story here.
Sure.
I'll try to make it quick. So we were on a panel, and I'm literally sitting between David Weber and my wife. And the question that they're just going down the line of authors, I think there's like 5 or 6 of us on the panel. It's like, if you could collaborate with any one author, who would it be and why? And they get to me, and I'm like, okay, since I'm literally between 2 authors I have collaborated with, one of which I am married to, I am going to personally restrict my answer to, authors who have passed away, just so I don't upset anyone. And then I said, and of course it would, I don't know what we would collaborate on, but it would be Terry Pratchett. And you were like, dang it, that was going to be my answer.
That is awesome. So as we're coming to the end of this, where can they find your stuff? And where can they locate everything?
Our stuff is all centralized on our website at hollowwriting.com, but we're also available on Amazon and most other online retailers, Barnes & Noble, etc. Several of our books are on Audible. We're working on getting all of them there, but right now, Bane of the Dead, Throne of the Dead is coming out, that one being the second of the giant robot novels, the Gordian novels, and then Monster Punk Horizon and Time Reavers are out in audio, so we're slowly getting the whole collection out there.
And also the traditionally published books, the Gordian Division series at this point are available at stores like Barnes & Noble. Anywhere we're fine science fiction and fantasies.
Nice. Well, thank y'all so much. This has been excellent, been fun, and very informative. So thank y'all so much. Hey everyone, welcome back to Community for All of Us. I am here today with a cosplayer named Josh. And Josh, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this. Yesterday I saw you. You're in the Solomon Kane outfit, which is I love. Let's look over your costume. You were explaining some of the stuff yesterday. I was like, you know what? I need to have an interview with you so that you can explain how you came up with the design and all this stuff. So what would you like to start with? Your staff?
Oh yeah. Of all my cosplay items, this is probably the one I'm most proud of. I always take kind of an approach to cosplay of, can I make this out of, stuff in my closet and stuff I can get at like a Goodwill or something for like $5 to $10,
Very smart.
Just to see what I can do with like, limited resources. And funny, this one actually came by accident. I made this cosplay originally for a Halloween party.
Oh, okay.
It was a work function. It was kind of mandatory, like one of those trunk or treat things. I was thinking, okay, Solomon Kane, can I make the staff of Solomon, which would elevate it from just another vampire hunter to Solomon Kane.
Exactly.
And in the book, it's described as a black staff with a panther's head on the head of the staff. But I can't really carve that well, so I was looking at like toys or models or things, like anything I could take. I couldn't really find anything that works, and I also had trouble finding a pirate sword,
right,
or like a kind of sort of Renaissance saber type thing.
Exactly.
And my boss overheard that I couldn't find a sword. She's the best boss I could ask for. One day she just randomly approaches me and says, I heard you couldn't find a sword, here you go. And it wasn't quite the type I was looking for, but I saw the head, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I know what I can use this for. And I saw the handle off with the head pommel. My dad does a lot of carving, but this is one of the sticks he couldn't use. It was kind of like too lightweight and thin.
Right.
So I just kind of slid it over there, duct taped it together, and spray painted it black, and
it works.
Yeah.
It really does. It makes the costume stand out, where you can tell exactly more, like you said, there's not some other vampire hunter.
Yeah.
I love the hat. I'm all about hats. So your hat is very unique. I do like the fact that you used a belt buckle to do that, and I love that it's the wear and tear. How long have you had this hat, or did you?
I actually borrowed this from my brother. My dad had it originally, and he'd wear it, just like a regular hat. You know, he'd wear it to occasion. It's a very nice hat, and basically, it's just a cowboy hat.
Right.
I took it, found an old worn-out bell, cut it down to size so that it would fit over the hat without anything
Constricting and stuff?
Yeah, and now it's a pilgrim hat.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I love the whole setup, and you would sit here and think. I've seen a lot of people that other cosplayers that have other outfits, but you know that they order them online. I like yours is because you actually took time into creating this with your own money, with your own imagination, and that there for me is awesome.
Thank
Is there
you.
a place they could find you that you like to share where they could look at your other pictures, or?
I actually don't really have a database for my cosplay.
Okay.
I've never been asked about that, so I might make one. I might have to get on that when I get home. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's nice meeting you, Josh.
Oh, nice meeting you too.
Can't wait to see what other things you come up with.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Four categories today. There were video game, anime, TV and movies and comics, and there was a youth category and there is an adult category. So we're going to start with the youths. When I call your name, if you want to please come up here, and hand your medal, and then just stand to the side over here because we're going to get a group picture with all the winners at the end, okay? All right, so in the youth category for video game, the winner is Abby for Technoblade. Sign up. If the person's not here, we will mail you your award. All right. In youth for comics, winner is Tobias with God Tier Dave Strider. All right. In anime for youth category, the winner is Miles for Faye Bolette.
You disappeared for like 30 minutes. I'm sorry.
All right, and finally, the youth for TV movie winner is Phil with Red Reader.
As you can see,
All right,
good.
moving on to the adults. For video, the winner is Brandon for Dwight Fairfield.
There's many different cosplays here.
All right, the adult category for comics, the winner is Zach as Beast Boy. All right, adult in the category of anime, the winner is Kiana with Todoroki.
Nice.
Cosplaying as Hawks. And finally, the winner in TV movie for adult is Wayne for his Mandalorian.
Wow.
All right, we're gonna have all of the winners come up here, and then we'd like everybody participating in the cosplay contest to also come up here after we take the first picture. I want to give a big thank you to Richards Comics for having us, your friendly neighborhood superheroes, out running this event for the second day in a row. And let's go ahead and get the picture started. Stay right there.
Hold on.
What princess are you? What princess are you? Jasmine. How you doing? Looks nice. I like it.
Alright, and now I can get everybody. Come on up. Take one more group photo.
I like your hat.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
There you have it.
Awesome. Thank you all so much.
And so there is your cosplay. Stay tuned. We'll get to see the interview with them coming up soon. Hello guys, welcome back to A Community for All of Us. And today I'm here with an awesome writer, which, by the way, has my wonderful Cringer hanging out with him. Hey John, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I've got a cat.
You got a cat, I know.
That should increase views of this by at least, 15-20%.
Oh,
right?
I know. He went
buddy?
really viral also on your page on Facebook.
That's right.
I was like, oh, got a lot of love for him.
Multiple people were asking if this little guy was coming home with me, if I could take him back to Charlotte for them. I was like, no, I don't think I can steal Homeboy's cat now.
No, but I don't live that far away from Charlotte, so you might come and hang out with him.
That's right.
Yeah. So this is Cringer. He's hanging out. So John, tell me a little bit about stuff that you do or what you've. First of all, I'd like to know how you got started. I always like to find out how people got started.
So I was working in the internet poker industry, writing tournament coverage for poker, and I got in an argument with my editor. I didn't think I had a deadline for an article, and she thought I did. I lost that argument, and lost that job. So I decided to work on writing fiction instead, and it was successful beyond my wildest imaginings. And for about the past 5 or 6 years, I've been supporting myself and my family off my writing. And then about 6 years ago, we opened up Falstaff Books, where I'm the publisher, and we publish about 60 authors, and we've got over 250 books that we've published in that time.
Wow. From having one asshole of an editor, you turn it around and make something good out of it, which is awesome.
Spite fuels my entire career, yes.
Right. I don't blame you. I do not blame you at all. So with that, and you started to write your own stuff. Did you enjoy that more, or did you enjoy the? This, I know it's a crazy question to ask, but is it still a passion that you have? Is you still got the same passion when you started to now?
So there's a big difference. When I started, I had a good job, making good money, and I started writing, and people started buying my books. There is a big shift when you go from something you're doing as a hobby to making your living at it.
Right.
This is my job.
Exactly.
This is how I pay my bills. So while it's not, I still love writing. I still love telling stories, and I love going to conventions and meeting people and all of that. But I approach the work differently because this is my job.
Right.
So just like anything that goes from being a hobby to a side gig to your full-time gig, I have to approach it differently.
I can understand that.
Everything that I do, I have to think about, well, what's the potential upside to it? How long is it going to take to do that project? What's it going to do to my other deadlines and deliverables? All that.
Right.
So while I do still love writing, it's very different when it is how you support yourself.
Right. Because, I mean, and that's what a lot of people think is that, oh, well, this is your hobby. But the real thing is that we never want things to be just hobbies. We want people to have the same passion we have for our stuff. And with that, tell me a little bit how you come up with your stories. How do you come up with like outlines and characters and stuff?
Well, most everything that I write comes from what if type questions.
Oh, okay.
My series of the Black Knight Chronicles is what if there were more fat vampires?
Right.
So I wrote a series of books featuring a fat vampire. My Bubba the Monster Hunter was what if this giant redneck was hunting monsters? Because all the protagonists I was seeing were good-looking, young, urbane, intelligent. It's like, nah, what happens when Bubba goes after these critters?
Yes.
So that's where a lot of my root story ideas come from. And then it's just keeping an eye on what I'm reading, what I'm experiencing. The next book in my Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series is going to come off of someone was posting an article on Facebook and it was about a historical event that I thought was really interesting. So I was like, okay, well, now what if there were repercussions from that event that were affecting people today, and how can I weave that into the lives of these characters?
I like that.
I'm usually 1 or 2 books ahead when I'm working on a series.
That's what I was going to ask.
So I kind of try to keep my eyes open for what's down the road.
Yes.
Like right now, I'm finishing up edits on Harker 8.
Okay.
And this idea I have is for Harker 9.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what Harker 10's going to be yet. Hopefully I'll figure it out pretty soon, because I'd like for 9 and 10 to hit the street next year.
Okay. So you definitely keep busy. Now, how many, you said 60 authors, so how many books do you try to get out a year?
Well, we try to do as many as we can.
Right.
My goal is to scale back our production until we're doing only about 40 a year.
Okay.
That feels like it would be a little bit lighter workload.
Okay.
The last few years we've done over 50 a year.
Really?
Almost a book a week, if not more. And that can really wear. You know, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a big responsibility. Now, I did see, and yes, Paul, I'm right here. I did see that Paul Barrett, someone I know, which was interesting, that he also co-authored with one of the books, and also he's got his own series with dealing with the necromancer. When you come and meet new artists, or you're looking for cover artists, or you're looking for people to write books for you, what is the things that you're looking for?
Well, at this point, when we're looking for new people to work with, a lot of times what we're looking for is someone with a proven track record.
That's good.
With a couple hundred titles already under our belt, it's harder and harder for a brand new author to get through.
Right.
Because if we're already working with 60 writers, well, if most of those people want to do a book a year and I only want to do 40 books in a year, that says that there's 20 books out there that I'm not taking from people I've already worked with.
Oh, I understand.
So I tend to tell people that I don't buy books, I buy writers.
Okay.
So I find someone I like to work with.
Okay.
Because a writer-publisher relationship's a long-term deal.
Right.
Even if you're only doing one book, it can take up to 3 years from the time you first discuss a project to the time it's sitting on a table at a convention.
Out of all this, I like to always ask, especially since you have several projects you worked on, and this is like asking who's your favorite kid, but I have to ask it anyway.
Well, I don't like kids, so that's easy.
There you go. Hey, that's awesome then. And I don't have kids, so I'm not
I
sure
also
happy
don't
about
have kids.
I don't either. And there's a reason. But tell me, is there one project that is like just hung on your heart that you've been passionate about and that you're still in love with today? Like it still stands out as something like, wow, this is what I accomplished. Wow, this is where it came from. It's my baby.
No.
So
there's not. Because one of the troubles with a creative career is that the goalposts keep moving.
Good.
For a while, it was, okay, can I write a book?
Right.
Well, I wrote The Chosen, which was my first novel, and that proved that I can write a book.
Right.
Then can I write a book that anybody will buy? Well, people bought a few copies of that. Then I wrote the first of the Black Knight Chronicles, and people bought a lot of copies of that. Then it was, can I sell the book to a different publisher? Well, I did that.
Okay.
So now it's, can I sell a book to a big New York publisher, or can I make a major bestseller? You know, the goalposts are always moving. So while I sometimes will sit around and think I'm pretty content with what I have accomplished, there's no big shining thing that says I've made it.
Okay.
Because I continue to push.
I appreciate the honesty there, because a lot of people, when they get to a certain point, they're kind of, you know, they get in their ways and they're satisfied, and they don't really push themselves. I kind of did the same thing. That's why I kind of stopped drawing for a while. And that's why I asked that question, because you should always be looking to the next project as being the next thing that you're wanting to achieve. And I really enjoy that honesty there. So with that, where can they find your stuff?
You can find my stuff at falstaffbooks.com or at johnhartness.com. I try to not be at all original in any of my URLs or usernames or any of that, because I want people to be able to find me. You can also follow me on Twitter at John Hartness, and I have a Facebook group, which is the best way for people to interact with me directly, and that's, you just look on Facebook for John G. Hartness Books.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking care of my little kitty while we did this.
Yeah.
And that is it, guys. Until the next time. As you can see, we got more cosplayers that are here today. And we're going to be taking a look today at the gaming section, which is very, very interesting. I talked to these guys yesterday, taking a look at the stuff. Got Spider-Gwen. Oh, I think so bad, but wait. Already bought too much. Got too much. So up here, it looks like we have a tournament taking place and happening, which I think is really cool. It's Pokemon that we're seeing taking place. Doing the battle, fighting the battle, and here is the Pokemon fusion. Oh my gosh. I love that's my boy, man. Other than side up. Also, we have a nice little R2 unit that is here with the 501st Legion, if you ever heard of them. They do a lot of charity stuff, they do a lot of things they do, I enjoy. They even have their own cards cut out. Stuff something in. Everything.
You come earlier, we had a lot more things going on.
Did you? I am so sorry. I did a couple of other interviews, but do you mind taking a couple of minutes? Just a minute or two?
We're actually leaving right now.
You're leaving now?
Trying to get the kids home, man. They're restless.
Got you.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I wanted to say yes, but they're
I understand. Kids.
crazy on us.
I can understand that, absolutely. But yes, a lot of cool things you got going on. More cosplays. And so as you're seeing, these things are unfolding and taking place. And, you know, the way it's been with the convention time and era, COVID, it's kind of made it a little bit hard for this stuff to start up again in a lot of ways. I look at this and I've got a lot of those issues at my house. It's absolutely crazy. Man. New arrivals? Wow. Yeah. New arrivals, $5. Oh, look. Dinosaurs. Batman. So yeah, you got a lot of comics I've not even heard of, to be honest. Here's Doom Patrol, which is a good thing that you can see on HBO Max. Warlock.
The more chapters, the more mixes it has, the more wiggle it
Wow. Ash as a kid had his figure. Yeah, that crazy. The Atom, Archer. These are dollar comics. So let's go take a look at the dollar editions. Oh, got Spider-Man. Marvel. Expo Man of War. Wow. Gosh. I had these issues, and at one time these things were just like flying off the shelf. And actually something that was making, you know, people were actually making money off this stuff. When it came out, just like everything, things kind of dry up for stuff. Filled your out. That's no math. Edelman. Oh, got Bloodshot. Never saw the movie that had Van Diesel in it. This is the character that he was portraying in the movie, Bloodshot. So yeah. Free comic book day stuff. Spider-Man. Let's see which one this one is. Oh. Wow. Back when the artwork was unique. Not like the artwork is in some places where it's pretty much carbon copy of each other. But yeah, oh, the chair. Interesting. Oh, Ghostbusters, which I get from Dark Comics. The chair. It's very cool. 1 and 2. Red Hood. So that gives you an idea of what's in the book. Some collections and sets you can get. And then you see right here different music boxes and stuff. And overall, this is it. I think I might be going to get some food. I know that we are definitely like that gives you a little bit more as you come to the table. You can see on your plate. A good friend, Nick, and these are making buttons, which is awesome. As you can see, making buttons. They get to draw the buttons. They get to get them. So cool. All right, that's it for now. I got an interview coming up next. Stay tuned as we keep going. Hey guys, welcome back to Community for All of Us. Today I'm here with Heather and Sybil, and they are cosplayers, but we're going to discuss also the fact of how they make their costumes, plus she's done a book, actually with her own artwork that she's did, which is fabulous. As a publisher, I love it. I absolutely do love it. So, welcome. I'm glad to have y'all today. So, how did y'all get into cosplay?
Well, I started into it. My husband loves collecting comic books, and we went to our first convention, and I don't have the attention span to flip through all the comic books. I the attention span of a gnat, so I looked around and saw all these incredible costumes, and I thought, I can do that. So I'd already been doing some costuming for the theater, and it just was kind of a natural transition.
So your background kind of feel natural, it's kind of organic.
Yeah, it does. It does, and some of the other things we do kind of tie into the theater a little bit, and so it's just it was an easy transition into that. I've had kids, and they love to get to dress up too, so we just do it as a big family event.
So, doing stuff with cosplay, do y'all travel to different places, different locations?
We do. We tend to stay within driving distance from home, which we don't need to as much now. But when the kids were younger, it was easier to at least be within driving distance.
Right.
But yeah, we go to as many conventions as we can fit into our schedule.
So you're the Huntress, and we know that you're a Marvel girl.
Yep.
So how did y'all come up with the outfits? I mean, did y'all make these outfits that y'all are wearing? Okay. I would like to know how you came with yours, especially with the arms, and we saw the arrows coming out the other side.
The arrows are coming out. So I'm really drawn to costumes that have armor.
Yeah.
And this is, and purple. This year is the year of purple. I don't know what's going on,
great.
but it's a year of purple. So all of the armor pieces are foam, so they're EVA foam.
Okay.
And the jacket was sewn. We pieced it together and tried to mimic what we saw in the comics.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the costumes we patterned much of the design ourselves and patterned it ourselves because there aren't cosplay costumes patterned out there very often. Occasionally, but yeah, so a lot of it is you kind of
a lot of
figure out how it's going to go together. Yeah.
So when you come up with your costume, how long does it take for y'all to make your costumes? And who do you decide to do?
Okay, so for cons it's a little bit different because we tend to go outside of our team.
Okay.
We have specific characters that we cosplay for our team events when we do events for like hospital visits or we did some charity work, and we typically have the same character we do over and over for those. But for cons we get to kind of play a little bit, so we kind of jump out of our normal mode of characters.
And it can be completely different reasons for picking them. Sometimes, for me, sometimes it's just the colors. I did a Daphne costume years ago because I just love the vibrancy of the contrast between her costume color and her hair.
Right.
But other times it's because we love a character. We recently did a I Love Lucy duo where she was Ethel and I was Lucy. And we love the Chocolate Factory episode, and so we created that. We actually had a little.
And we like candy.
And we eat chocolate all day, so that's the main
It was
motivation,
great.
really.
It was awesome.
We made the conveyor belts, and
and they moved, and
we just, and we just got to be silly and stuff our mouths with chocolate for 8 hours. So it was great.
And y'all said something about charities. Charities that y'all are a part of. They relate to the share.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of...
Talk about our team first.
Yes. So we're part of Your Friendly Neighborhood Superheroes, and we work in the Upstate. And before COVID hit, we did a lot of hospital visits. We did some stocking drives. We visited a rehab therapy clinic. So we did things like that. We've done a number of fundraisers for kids who are sick.
Right.
Visit the Cancer Association.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
That's how I met my wife. I've been married for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
That's right up the alley.
That's right where we're...
I'm a sole survivor for the cancer I had. So y'all doing this means a lot. Because I can say when I was in the hospital, we didn't have anyone to come by. And so that's what my wife and I are very passionate about, is trying to get all of this so that kids in.
And it's lonely. I mean, you're in there for long stretches of time.
I was 2.5 years in the hospital.
Wow, that's a lot. And we work with nursing homes, we work with therapy clinics, things like that. So we really, anywhere the need is that they call us, we can put up the bat signal, we'll go. And she was talking about the stocking drive. That's a big thing that our group has been doing. So every year we'll actually make the stockings and get the community to contribute, and we'll stuff the stockings full. They're big stockings, and we'll bring them to therapy clinics or to hospitals. And this year we're looking at doing nursing homes and trying to find items that are specific to the needs. So that's what we're looking forward to this year. A lot of fun. It is, and it brings the community together.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I also want to ask you, say y'all with your team, how many members is part of your team?
And so we started it about, I'd actually worked on another superhero team down in Georgia, and I was commuting and learning some members and getting to mentor for years. And I really wanted to bring it up to the Upstate because I just felt there was a good need for it. And Heather was the perfect person to be my Wonder Woman, and our families just have really meshed together over the years. And so it was just the right time, the right people. Our kids all got big enough to be members of the team, valid members of the team. And then we have some other members on the group as well. And it's been a really incredible experience to kind of get to become the heroes and do the work and raise our kids to value that, to be out in the community. And they do it with glad hearts. They enjoy it.
So, what does it say? Someone want to come on to what y'all are doing, and they want to be a part of your group. How do they go about it?
They actually have an application process and entry process.
Oh, we do.
A big part of it for us is we want people to believe that we're the characters, but the kids to believe we're the characters. But the physical appearance is not even a main part of it. So we're really looking at the heart of the character.
We do a lot. We want to make sure that the part fits with what our mission is, and that we are meeting that need. So when we do an application, we sit down, we have an intro application and an interview, and then we kind of do a shadowing. You get to see what we do, kind of thing. Do you enjoy this? That way they can decide, yes, this is for me, or we are fit for them. So you want to fit both ways, because this team is really knit together pretty tightly.
This is like a family.
It is family. We have our kids in it. When we go visit other families, they can tell there's a difference. When there's an age difference in our characters, it really, because there are some kids that are really hesitant, and they're not always very, ooh, wow, they're kind of like, you've got a mask on, and that's kind of scary to me. But when we bring in our kids and they get down and they're on their same level, they really just respond very well. There's a different heart to it.
And each member of the team has a different role they play, in the sense that we have some that are a little quieter, and you know, they're not us.
They're not us.
They're the ones that are big and loud and, like, you know, rallying the troops and all. But there's a purpose to them. And like, we have one of my sons has a real heart for special needs, and so he is drawn to that, and he just connects with them in a very different way than everybody else does. He's got a quieter spirit. Yeah, he's got a quieter spirit, and he'll just go off one-on-one with them and connect with.
It's neat to see.
Yeah. That touches my heart. And then, you know, her daughter is this artist, and so she'll set up an art table. And so the kids some kids will never say why. They come over, they do the art, they draw the pictures, and they just, you know, and that was their interaction. That's exactly what they need by then, you know. So it's not just about finding a whole bunch of big, noisy, you know, crazy people. So we try to find the niche that each person is going to fit in. You know, some people are background people that are doing the tech side of things, and loading up pictures and doing their social media. And so we all have the roles to play, and that's a lot of what we're looking for, is to make sure we have all the parts.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like you're running, like we were talking about, the drama. I mean, I work in movies and commercials, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes.
And we have a background in theater. We've done actually a number of shows together, and we do pull some of that in. It's part of casting as well. You know, making sure that all the roles are filled and behind the scenes are happening just as much as the you know.
As we come to the end of this, I have to ask, these back here, I saw this. What made them?
That would be me. So I do costume design, and initially when we started doing the team, we actually all said it happened very fast. We knew it was going to be happening.
Right.
I had just resigned from the team I was on, so we talked to our leader, and he said, "It's time." He's like, "You're right, it's time. Go do your thing." And as I'm hanging up, I get a text for a booking for our team that is not in existence yet, and it was 2 weeks away. So for 2 weeks, frantically, we had our own little sweatshop happening. Like, we had all hands on deck, you know, and we cranked out, I think, like 6 costumes each release. It was insane. But like I said, I have a background with costuming in the theater, and that transitioned into the cosplay world, and that's expanded into all types of different things, historic costuming and fashion design and stuff like that. So, but yeah, these are a couple of my pieces here.
Y'all's costumes are too. I was like, wow.
A little something different, yeah.
For an age, I was like, it's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
So, how would they be able to find you if they want to find you? I know I'm going to put y'all's information down below the link, but if you want to share anything that you're passionate about.
Well, you can find us under Your Friendly Neighborhood Superheroes on both Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
That's our main modes of communication.
And I'm under White Knight Cosplay on Instagram and Facebook as well. So,
thank y'all so much for this. I know that everybody's getting ready. I appreciate you doing this, and wish y'all a whole bunch of luck.
Thank you so much. We enjoyed it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. Hey guys, welcome back to A Community for All of Us. Today I am sitting with not only an artist but a writer. Her name is Paula. Make sure I say your right name, Richie? Like Richie Rich. I love that. So, Paula, I got to come around your table and you had so many awesome things. It was like coverings from steampunk to heroes to comics to books. You know, how did you get into this? What brought you into wanting to do these different genres?
Well, ever since I was really young, then I was always fascinated by stories and art, and also a lot of cartoons. So yeah, so I always imagined, you know, well, what if they kept going with the story, or what if there were more characters? What
Like
if
fan
there were,
fiction and stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I didn't know fan fiction, you know, back in the day. So I would just, you know, daydream up my own stories, and soon they started going off on a completely different tangent that had nothing to do with the original thing. So eventually I started writing down my own. And so everything that I would write and think of and draw would have so many different genres mixed into it. I couldn't just stay
In one area.
Yeah, I couldn't just stay with a fantasy theme. I had to bring in weird inventions and extra dimensions, and I came up with the idea for the other room.
That's right. You were sharing that with me, the story where you got the other rooms coming to an end, and
Yeah, so the other realm is like an alternate world that's at the end of everything. It's like one step before you get to extinction.
kind of like how in one of the movies that I love that comes to mind is Never Ending Story, where you had the darkness come and was taking everything away.
Yes.
It's so. But you also inhabit this world. You said you had superheroes, you had steampunk, you also had. Well, share with some of the other ones that you have too.
So, in the other realm, the timeline is different than ours. Things, myths, legends, cryptids, odd stuff from this world falls into this world, into the other realm before it goes extinct.
Oh, okay.
So, things that are almost lost from this world, they get lost there first. So, on the other realm's timeline, they go through an era of myths, like from the Greek and Roman myths and the ancient mythology, to a medieval era, and beyond that, as technology progresses, with a little help from our world occasionally, they have a steampunk era, and it moves into like sci-fi, and there's a lot of portal stuff mixed in because I love portals. And so it's close to having enough room. There's close to having enough room in this other realm for me to tell all the stories that I want to tell with everything in them that I want them to have.
So which one would you got a couple of things in your hands, you got a comic, and also you have your book. For someone who's jumping on with your stuff, which one do you think you would steer them to first? And you can show off your book if you want to.
Yeah, so this is issue 1 of my comic series, Soulbound.
Soulbound.
And this is about Becca Albright. She's a college student from our world who falls through a portal to the other realm. It's a realm of magic and monsters and generally mayhem, and the first place she ends up is a dungeon, and she has to find a way out. And there's a sorceress who's also sort of a mad scientist who's conducting experiments on people, and she has to not only get through
that. I see.
Yeah.
Well, what she's sharing with you, so I was looking at the cover art, and I love the cover art. And if you look inside, those of you those like us, the old comic book fans, you got the newspaper. Oh God, that smells so good. It's got beautiful art, as you can see. She does not stop. She gives some great.
So I wrote it, and my friend Mia illustrated it, and I went back and did the colors.
Nice. And you have a book. Which is?
This is Penance, the first book in the Teen Heroes Unleashed series. This one is part of a shared universe with Silver Empire Press. They're doing a universe called Heroes Unleashed.
Okay.
So each author, it's very much like the other realm, or also a bit like the Marvel universe.
Right.
So each author gets their own series, and there's crossover between books.
Where can they find your stuff?
Well, it's on Amazon. I have digital editions of Soulbound on Amazon as well. And
Which you can see right
on
there.
my website, otherrealmstudio.com.
Okay. Yes, Other Realm Studio. I'll have this all in the link down below, but thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. You have a good one. And
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Sorry, my battery started going low a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back to A Community for All of Us. Today I'm sitting here with the artist Ryan Bray, and I gotta tell you something. I'm very, very excited about this. Him and I have known each other for a long time. I have one of the artworks that he actually hand painted. It's a three-eyed elephant. Love it. It sits right there in the studio. Y'all have seen it if you've been watching the toy videos. So, how you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
I'm very happy to have you. So, with this, tell us about your studio, because I mean, you got a lot of stuff now, which we're going to take a look at in just a second. But you got a lot of stuff.
That's Delighted Ghost Studio. I'm a one-man shop. I draw, I screen print, I do hand drawings, I do physical drawings, I draw comic books.
Yes.
I draw on sketch cards, sketch covers.
Garbage Pail Kids, I love
I
it.
have stickers.
He even has a toaster. Just so y'all know, he has a toaster.
I've been trying to show the back end.
Oh, this one. I love the butt.
I've been trying to sell this toaster for like 6 years.
He even has a toaster. That is awesome. And I'm going to show this to you real quick so you see that. And on the back of it, get that information. And there is that right there. Ooh, I love that. I love the color.
Here, it's yours.
Thank you, man. Oh, that is awesome. So, you do your own coloring. You do your own inks.
Yep.
You said, too, that you kind of branched into the digital world, correct?
Yeah, so, well, a lot of it stemmed when I had my daughter.
Right.
My wife had my daughter. I was there.
He was there. He was. He gets that participation award. He gets it.
I was at Taco Bell, but you.
That's the best place.
So
to
like, time for like painting and handcrafting really dwindled. But I found out that with an iPad.
Yes.
And an Apple Pencil Gen 1, because I'm poor.
Same here.
I could actually produce a lot quicker. I could produce art a lot quicker than I could draw my hand. So this comic here is actually the result of nothing but digital art. And I think it turned out really well.
I think it does too. That looks awesome. Well, it looks like that's the route I'll be going, because my wife Nikki's been asking me to do that. I mean, it would be easier for her to color and stuff too if it already being all in one thing.
Oh, I love color. That's my favorite part now.
Yeah, hers too. Hers too. She says that right there. My sister got her this same thing. She loves it. Absolutely loves it.
And you know, $10, you get the Procreate app. You know, I'm gonna plug it all I can. I love it. And you can get so many free brushes. It gives you a plethora of ability. I don't even know the words, man. There's
the ability to show off and work with many different genres, which he actually does a lot by hand. I kind of feel sad because him and I were like the dinosaurs in the community, where we still use pen and ink, and all the younger kids, he now wants to be with the cool kids now.
Yeah.
I'm now the only dinosaur. I gotta upgrade my stuff. I am eyeballing this right here, which I think everybody needs to see. I love this cover of Spock being a Green Lantern. That is awesome. I actually like the series, the crossover that they had, which was very, very nice. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know that's the Calvin universe.
Yes.
But I drew traditional Spock.
Yes, you did, and I love it. I love it. So
that took a while.
How long have you been doing this?
Professionally, since 2008.
Okay.
I've been drawing my whole life.
Right.
You know, I'm 34, so I'm gonna say I've been drawing for 33 years, 30 years.
Preparing yourself to be the artist that you've become today. Has it been an easy road or has it been kind of hard? I knew I'd get him on this question.
Nothing's easy. Nothing is easy. It's been a fun road.
Yes.
It's been. I've been schooled a lot. I've learned a lot. I've failed.
Yes.
I've cried. You know, I remember so I went to this convention in North Carolina. I was doing everything on my own. I didn't know what I was doing, so I had all I had was paintings.
Right.
Just mounds of paintings that I was pushing on this cart across the street trying to get to the convention. You know, it's a red light, so I'm pushing it as fast as I can. It all just falls into the street.
Oh, no.
And the light turns green. And I'm just... It's like I was frozen in time, just staring at all my art on the ground. And I thought to myself, this is my life.
Yes. Yes. And then you're like,
this is my life. And
it's all on the ground.
And after what felt like 100 years, I just started scooping it up and I tried again.
Yep. I understand, you know, because painting and stuff like that takes time. You got a 2-year-old now, so I guarantee you little hands can go everywhere. And a dog. See, we got cats. So this is the reason why Nikki is like, hey, I want to do things digitally. I don't want to do things watercolor and stuff like that and get kitty paws all over the stuff. But yeah, that's very easy. It's like, you know, but at the same time, I mean, you've come a long way from your artwork. You, like you said, you start off with paintings and stuff like that, and you've now branched out to your pen and ink, and you're now going to the tablet. So
yeah, when we first met, I think all I had was paintings, maybe a comic book.
Yeah, comic book. I got your comic book with the squid. So yeah,
this one.
Yes,
Octopus Ink.
Yes,
first full-length single-story comic.
Yep, I sure do.
Yeah, made the mistake of making it magazine size, so it doesn't fit in a traditional comic box. People don't like that.
Yeah, it's that whole 2000 AD stuff where you're like magazine size, like
and like I love it. Heavy Metal 2000 AD.
Yeah.
You know, the old Epic series.
Yes.
Stuff like that. I love it.
Oh, I do.
Mad
magazine. Now that it's gone.
But people want the traditional floppy book size.
They do. So
that's what you do. The Let It Go studio.
So where do you see yourself going from here? I was like, that's like one of those questions you ask. You're thinking, wait a second, I should have kind of been more specific in that.
No, I know what you mean.
I know. Where
from here?
Yeah.
No, I really want to expand where the money isn't at.
Okay.
And
no,
I just want to keep making the comics. You know.
Yeah.
Nobody wants them. Nobody wants to buy it if it's not Marvel or DC or Vertigo.
I know.
But that's what I want to do. That's what I like to do, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna still draw and make stickers and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And eventually, I'd like to get back to painting. But
just when they're little ones a little bit older.
Yeah, I just want to keep making comics. I'm actually making a comic right now. Did I tell you about it?
No, you have not. Please share.
It's called After School Snacks. Let's see.
After School Snacks. Awesome.
So, you've heard of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I
Where
have.
the guys, they start a scene, they take suggestions from the audience.
Yeah.
So I started this. There's no dialogue on these. I do that in a different program.
Very nice.
This is After School Snacks. Stars Corny and Brock, because I'm that creative, trying to get into a doctor, and I tell people on social media, leave a comment and tell me what happens next. And what's happened so far, Corny just gets roided out for some reason, and then, you know, a meteorite comes from outer space.
Oh, that's awesome.
And turns out he wasn't drinking Gain muscle juice, he was drinking Gain laundry juice, and so he instantly loses all his muscles, and all this stuff happens. And where I'm at right now, somebody suggested that Shrek shows up.
Nice.
So I don't know what's happening, but I absolutely love it. You know, it's so much fun. Shrek is going to come in and heal them with a finger blast, healing power. That's why I got so far in this page.
Oh, nice. I love it. Love the Canadian label.
Yeah, the suggestion was, and I take screenshots of all the suggestions. So
sweet.
if I ever make a book out of this, I'm going to put like written by, and it'll have all the suggestions.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Shrek with a Canadian flag shirt.
It's very interesting because I started with T Dare Adventures and stuff like that, and we just published the last volume of that run, and I actually started a new run, which is going to be pick up sticks at the office.
Okay.
So somebody said to me one day, said, I can't even draw a stick figure. So they drew it. I said, that stick figure's naked. And they were like, huh? So I put clothes on it, and then Nikki was like, why don't you do this? So yeah, that's a whole little line. It's a whole new kind. It's like it's taking a life of its own. So that is, I cannot wait to see where that goes right there. I think that will be absolutely.
Definitely. And feel free, when I post these, leave a suggestion to tell me what happens next.
I definitely will.
Sometimes I combine them just to make a story. But,
awesome.
Yeah, some guy was up here earlier and said, I can't even draw stick figures. So you know what? You can stylize a stick figure and make it look good. Have you ever heard of Happy Noodle Boy?
Oh, yeah.
That's like one of the most detailed stick figures I've ever seen.
Yep.
There's so many cartoons and web comics and memes of like stick figure people.
Yes.
It works.
It does. And it's a lot of fun because I kind of got, like, for me, and I want to ask you this question too. You know, professionally, did you ever start to feel like the magic was leaving? Like you were getting, like going into a rut type of thing?
Yeah, all the time.
And
all the time.
So what made it where when you come up with this idea? Was that because you were like, I need to have something fresh and new?
That's basically what it was. I have so many ideas in my head all the time. I actually have an entire comic scripted out that's ready to go. I just don't feel like it right now. So I wanted to create something that was something I didn't have to try that hard on. Something that I could draw silly. You know,
don't to be in proportion.
And that's exactly what this book is. You know, you look at old shows like, I hate to use this as an example, just because of the allegations and stuff the creator's gone through, but you look at shows like Ren and Stimpy. And, you know, proportions in that show always change for comedic effect. And like 1 minute, Ren is like 20 feet tall because he's angry. And then next scene, he's shorter than Stimpy. I love that.
I do too. Actually, I got to meet him one time. He did this artwork for me to set this up on the wall. It's Ren and Stimpy, but it's Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's cool.
Stimpy is the Ghostbuster, and Ren is the Slimer. Ren had a mind fart. Very easy to happen.
You know, I get he's got a bad reputation for good reason. I do not condone what John Kay has done.
No, I agree.
But from an artistic standpoint, he's taught me a lot. You know, never draw the same thing twice. And you know, you flip open a Marvel or DC book,
and that's all you
it's
see.
like the same picture of Superman, Batman, Spider-Man over and over.
Nothing stylized anymore.
I mean, each creator puts a little tweak on it. That's fine. But you know what? A friend taught me that mainstream is a bad word. You know, support indie artists.
I mean, that's how you get people like Sam Keith start off as an indie artist, and you know,
I love his work.
I love his work, and then he did
even though he's mainstream, I still love his work. It's nuts what he can do with a pen.
I know. And I just sit there and I see so many, and also here what we're showing you with the community is that we need to, the only way the comic book industry is going to grow and become something that it was once is you got to support your indie artist. So go to your local cons, go to your local comic book store, look at what's on the shelf. Marvel and DC, fine, that's fine. If you like Spider-Man and stuff like that, I get it. But
they're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere. Disney now owns it. It's going to be plastered everywhere. Pow. You know, so. But look at your indie artist. Look at the work that he's done. It's blood, sweat, and tears that goes into the work, and it's a lot of passion that goes into these projects.
And yours, you know, ours, theirs.
Yeah, everybody in the community is just
that guy over there. I mean, the way he does is incredible.
Ben, you'll see an interview with also. He hooked me when it was a shark. and it was RoboCop. I was like, done.
And also, it was indie artists, a one in particular, who inspired me to pursue this as a career path and not just a hobby.
Who was that?
His name is Chris Haymer. He's Atlanta-based.
Okay.
Hamer of UrbanPop. .com.
Gotcha.
Really cool style. I've been following him for years. I met him one day. I saw he had like a similar, I don't want to compare our styles, but he had a very bright and animated style, and I was like,
yeah,
well, I want to do this.
Yes.
Like, I've been doing it, but I didn't know people bought that.
And it's crazy. It's crazy that because, a friend of, John, and he used to do artwork, and now his career, he's not been able to do that, and I've seen even though he loves his job, I've seen how he's become very stagnant, and he wants to do artwork.
Yeah.
So don't be ashamed of your passion. And I'm not saying that John is. John, if you're watching this, I'm not saying you're ashamed of your passion. Your job limits you. I get you. It did me too when I was a teacher. That's why I had to make sure everything was rated G. Now, I'm not a teacher. So the stick figures are mature audience only. Exactly. Shit just got real. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate that you had me. And as always, check his stuff out. You'll see the link down below. And y'all have a good one. Bye, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to A Community for All of Us. Today I have a guest. His name is Ben. And Ben, let's show off your card first. This is his card. I was addicted. As soon as I saw it, he has sharks. So I definitely will be coming back. He's even got sharks for the holidays. Come on now. I mean, that's just magnificent to me. So yeah, check him out. So Ben, first of all, how did you get into being an artist?
I've been writing for a long time, mostly, I write sci-fi, fantasy kind of stuff.
Right.
I'd always wanted to do a comic book, and so I didn't know any artists, but I do have, background in computers, so I used that to learn how to do art with a computer. So that's kind of how I started doing the art for my book and putting it together.
How long have you been doing this?
I started, my first issue came out in March 2020, and I'd probably been working on it for maybe a year before that. So just when everything was shutting down was when I got my first issue out of Shark of War. And now I've just finished issue 4. So.
Issue 4. It's kind of funny, when I started out, I was at this con called MonsterCon. And it was whenever the prices of gas was shot through the roof.
Right.
And it was like, well, this is going to be a dud for the first one, but it was a learning experience. But yeah, can we see some of your artwork?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So Shark of War. This is issue 1. Basically, Shark of War is Jaws meets RoboCop.
That's what I loved. He said Jaws meets RoboCop. I like, it's two genres I love. I love Jaws. Big. Oh.
Jaws if the shark were the hero. RoboCop if the cop were a shark.
Nice.
He's an escaped U.S. military experiment enforcing the law in the Gulf of Mexico, and of course the people who he's enforcing the law on decide they need, criminal cartels.
Yeah.
They hire one of his co-creators to create something to stop him, and what she comes up with is cyborg piranha that swarm him. So the first 5-issue arc basically is about his battle with the mob, his battle with one of his creators, who's basically turned herself into a supervillain, and that's the first 5 issues. Issue 5 should be out early next year.
Guys. I love. I'm sorry.
Issue 4 is at the printers. I was hoping to have it here today, but they had a problem with the printing, so it won't be till next week. So
you gotta love. It's got this nice cardstock right here.
Oh yeah, I always try to do. I always do 28 interior pages.
Oh, okay, good.
That's what I was
going to ask.
And I use a heavier cardstock than what you get from like Marvel or DC.
This, I gotta say, I love it. I love you, and this is from computer. You're from the
Yeah, it's a combination of 3D modeling and then digital art program called Clip Studio Paint that I use to give it more of a comic book look. Because 3D modeling a lot of times will look very it looks good in a video game, but for a comic book it looks very fake.
Yeah.
Because it gives you an odd realism.
It does.
So I really do a lot to make it look much more like a hand-drawn comic book.
I was an art director, so when I see this, I always call it the dinosaur because I still do everything in pins and needles.
Oh yeah.
But I find it really good. I mean, it's even got motion going down. You see it. You got helicopters, so you clearly can see these got some great work with men and women. I know that's a big thing. The shark just looks amazing to me. It's just like, you know, I am actually, this is I really enjoy this.
Oh, thank you.
And we're also a publisher, so that's one thing that we also have done. But this is, I like all your acknowledgments. That's kind of like what we do for the Community for All of Us, guys, remember?
Yeah, I acknowledge all the people, you know, there's a lot of free modeling stuff that helps me out, so I try to acknowledge where I got that. And on the inside cover, I list I usually fund these through Kickstarter first before I take them to the cons, and on the inside cover, I have the Shark Tank where all my backers for Kickstarter get listed.
Very cool.
So.
Now, how much does your books go for?
Huh?
How much does your books go for?
My regular covers go for $5.
Okay.
And then I have, special covers, like I always do a Jaws spoof of the Jaws poster.
Oh, we gotta see that. Look at this, guys. I mean, that is awesome. I love he's got the piranhas and the pose of Jaws.
Yeah, so
and the great white is like the woman, the squint at the top of it. Magnificent.
Yeah, it always follows kind of the story arc. The first issue one, which I've actually almost sold out of, so I didn't bring it, is directly like the Jaws poster. This one is turning it around as he's becoming the hunted, and then in the issue 3 one where he's the defeated, the woman is actually mocking him as he goes down, and then issue 4 is him resurgent, and I don't have that one out.
How much is this cover?
Those I sell my variants for $10.
Okay.
And then I have occasionally I get artists like Greg Bow to do covers for me, and this is his issue 3 cover for me. The woman on the cover is the heroine of the story, Marissa. She was the one who showed cliff diving before in the interior, where she.
I actually have a graphic novel that's going to be coming out this December, and it's called In the Life of Conspiracy Theorists. And I had a lot of people, kind of like the you, which that's what I like to show in this community, that we all work together.
Right.
And my wife and I, both being the artists and the writers of the stuff, we kind of had everything in house. I love the fact that you also branch out, because that's what we do too. We branch out to other artists and other stuff and pay them to do covers, and I love the fact Chrissy Zulu that did Fables and stuff. She got her start with our company at Media.
Yeah, I have for issue 4. I also have an Amanda Rachel's cover. She does a lot of cons around in the Georgia area usually.
Okay.
She did a Jaws cover, spoofing another Jaws cover, spoofing the death of Quint. He dies, but he's getting the shark war instead.
And as always, you got to support your artists, so you always want to make sure you're prepared when you come to their table, because like it is, I want the first issue if you have that, and I would love for you to sign that for me.
I will definitely do that. Always do that.
Very cool. Very excited about this. I'll probably, after a little bit later in the con, y'all know me about sharks. I will be back here. Oh, I love it. Sign inside. Very, very cool.
I always sign on the inside cover if people want it usually. So I'm never sure if people want it on the outside. And I'm going to give you one of my bookmarks. I have my Shark of War bookmarks.
Show that off.
Oh, thanks. Sure.
So as you see, it's like everything, and this is what you'll be seeing from a lot of different artists and creators, is you'll see that they come up with different things to catch people where they actually would like it. Here is the main man of the show that puts this on for us, and this is good old Richard.
Hey guys, come to the show. It's not too late.
It's not. That's right.
Tomorrow too.
And tomorrow too. That's very cool. Thank you. So.
If you want to sign up for my email list, I'll send you the digital version of that.
Okay.
Everybody who signs up gets the digital version of issue 1. Right here. Yeah, in the digital version, I have extras on it, like the science behind some of the sci-fi, because I'm an engineer by training. So a lot of how he does stuff is kind of, it's plausible-ish. So I kind of explain how it's done. I also explain in detail how I do the artwork, the computer programs I use. So people are interested in trying to get into doing this. A lot of them are free or free-ish, and you can use it. If you want to make your own art, it'll give you a little bit of a start.
Absolutely.
Barrett Davis@gmail.com. Well, half the times I'm spending deciphering people's email handwriting. I have to go to my wife and say, "Can you make that out?"
I do the same.
We take 3 guesses.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
He's going to be here for today and also tomorrow. Make sure you come out, check him out. There's other artists that will be going, and I'll be interviewing for Richard today at the Upstate Comic Expo. Pop Expo. See, y'all, I'm sorry, Richard. You know how my brain just does it. So thank you so much.
Oh, it's nice meeting you. Thank
too.
you. Thank you for taking the time, too.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm looking forward to reading this. And I'll probably come back around and get the other 3.
Awesome. I hope to hear from you. Hope your audience comes out. I appreciate your time.
Because I'm definitely going to tell the wife what you got, because also she knows I'm a big jaw. So number 2 is probably what I'll have to come back and get. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Community for All of Us. We will be at a comic Upstate Pop Expo coming into South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, no less, on November 13th and the 14th. Please come by and check us out. This will be Autocorrect Primer. I'll also be there, and this is both of our channels. And we'll also have artwork for the kids. If you come by our table, please come check out Upstate Pop Expo with a Community for All of Us on November 13th and 14th of 2021, which is next weekend, guys. Next weekend. Come check it out. We'll be there, and a lot of other great things will be there, too.